Hi everybody, I'm Ukulele Jay, and today I'm going to talk about the Magnifique Clay Pot Oven. This is new to the market. It is a 4-quart cooker. We're going to talk about what makes this Chinese clay different and why you may want to consider it for your kitchen. Now, before I get into the oven, I want to talk about non-stick. Non-stick is a very hot topic. It has been for years. It's been heating up, and people do not want PFOE chemicals in their pans. This is a non-stick pan. Now, this one is not toxic, and there are ones that are toxic because they have those chemicals. This does not have any chemicals. Now, when it comes to heavy metals, there's some testing that should be done, and manufacturers should be able to provide those or have them posted on their website for review to answer any questions regarding the chemical nature of their nonstick products and to ensure their products are safe and used with human consumption. Now, the one thing that's important is that Magnifique, upon my request, provided me 2 documents. The first document, and the biggie, is the FDA Heavy Metals Testing Report. This is a report you should be able to get from any manufacturer, and if they don't give you that report or don't want you to see it, I'd question the legitimacy of the product being non-toxic and chemical-free. The other test is the PFAS test record that shows the product was tested and does not contain any PFAS chemicals. This has both certifications. These are legitimate certifications that I did verify, and I'm really happy to say that this product is actually non-stick, but there's no non-stick coating. It's actual Chinese clay. And when I say Chinese clay from China that has been used from ancient times all the way to now and is being used in modern production to provide you that non-stick experience and offer you chemical-free products that are also good to cook with, retain the flavor of the food and the nutrients, and you don't have to worry about this ever peeling. The other thing about Magnifique that's fantastic is they used a clay glaze they created, and they actually glazed the clay pot oven with a clay glaze. Pretty cool. And looking at this, you can see the surface is kind of shiny from that glaze. It's very soft, smooth, buttery smooth. And you can see here in this video, I did do some non-stick testing when I cooked this incredible dish that you're going to see that's linked to this video that'll be at the end. And to my surprise, after this thing was hot, I was cooking meat, I thought for sure it would stick with some brown sugar in here that I had, and it just came clean. I was really happy about that. Now, Magnifique chose Kaolin clay because it has some additional benefits they really liked, and I think the benefits are very valuable. The 2 big things are it's non-toxic and it is also hypoallergenic. 2 things that some people are sensitive to, and they want to really make sure they get a product that doesn't have those properties. This does not, happy to say. The coating is very nice. I didn't find any imperfections. I didn't find any runs at all. And it really is a fantastic product. Now, I want to talk about Magnifique because in these reviews, people show you something, say, oh, it's the best thing in the world, and they don't cook with it. Maybe they cook a little bit, and then that's the end of the video. Well, if you watch my other videos, I actually interview and talk to the manufacturers. I will not accept the product and use the product and just do a video. I think that's a waste of time. Anybody can do that. I actually have bought a lot of products from companies, and I still want the information so that when I'm providing it to you, you get all the facts. Whether you like them or don't like them, that's what I try to do in these videos. And so the thing about Magnifique is that they've been around actually for a number of years making other products in the culinary world. Mostly small kitchen appliances for distribution through really major big box resellers like Target, Amazon, etc. The brand's actually been in the appliance industry for 30 years. Now in 2023, Magnifique wanted to come out with something that was innovative and that would really be good for the cooking industry. The team that worked on this development actually tested a lot of materials, and you know, non-stick's a big thing, so what do you use for non-stick? Well, they didn't like what they found out there, so they decided they were going to actually make their own product out of Kaolin clay. It was also important to them to have a sustainable material to provide in the process, and so the Kaolin clay idea came to fruition, and they invented the Kaolin Clay Pot Oven. Kaolin clay is known for its high purity, high heat threshold, and durability. Now, there's a long history with Kaolin clay. Kaolin clay was used by the Chinese way back, and it was used for pottery. And after it was pottery, the Chinese had a great idea and said, let's make kaolin clay into fine china. And that's what they did. They started making fine china using this kaolin clay. Now, using this kaolin clay for this cooker and for the lid, they came up with the idea that they could use a Chinese clay pot and turn it into a clay pot oven. And as you can see on the bottom here, it doesn't have that glaze because this goes on the heating element down below, and we'll talk about that. But this, it's all 100% clay, and if you drop it, it's definitely gonna probably break. It's really fantastic, and it actually holds the heat. And they did a fantastic job matching the bottom of this. This actually is the element. This is not clay. I wouldn't expect it to be. It's metal, which is great, and it's very sturdy. It has sensor plate for safety, so when you put the clay pot oven down, it will activate the bottom heating element. This element here heats the entire bottom and allows you to use 4 different cooking features, including 4 different presets, and we'll talk about those in just a minute. But this has been really, really fun to cook with, and you're gonna see that in the video that I did with my Mongolian pork. Now, people ask about the coating is, will it come off if you scrape it? With most coatings on pans today, they use a special tool, they scratch it. The hardness rating on this is an 8.5. So yes, you can take this, you can use your metal utensil, and you're not gonna worry about scratching it. Take this and run it to town. No scratches. Better not be any scratches. Yeah, there's no scratches. So it is really, really good. I actually enjoy using metal utensils. Using wood, which is actually great. I like wood utensils too. And this does come magically with a utensil. It's all wood, which is great. It's beveled really nicely, and you can use it as a rice scooper to serve food. I used it in my cooking video to mix things up. I actually like the style and the design. There's like an indent they put in here, which is nice. And they actually rounded all the corners. So they took a little time in making a little bit of a nicer, higher end wooden spoon than just the regular old round handle in the end. Now, kaolin clay is also much more efficient when you cook with it. It helps meals cook 4 times faster and uses 70% less energy, which with today's energy prices, and here in California, Pacific Gas and Electric is just killing us with electric bills. It's nice to know that this is actually really efficient and doesn't use a ton of electricity when you're actually cooking your food. Now, standard cookers that are slow cookers or crock pots, some of them have thick lids and some of them have thinner lids that allow moisture to escape, or they don't really retain the heat. And I can tell you, this thing is heavy, being solid clay. It does have a little vent hole right here to allow some of the heavy steam to escape, but it really traps all the flavors in here and the heat really well. And I could really tell using this kaolin clay that it really did work as advertised. Now, besides the 4 cooking modes, which are the saute, the slow cook, the sear saute, the braise, and the keep warm, they also have some really cool modes for white rice, brown rice, pasta, and oats. 4 different distinct modes because those are actually cooked 4 different distinct ways. Cleaning the pot was really, really easy. And here's a little clip of the video that I did on the cook that has the full video that you'll see. Hopefully, after you watch this one, you'll watch the cooking video because that one's really a lot of fun. But cleaning this thing was super easy. It literally, I took a sponge, the green side, a little soap, water. It just came right out. It cleaned so easy. There was no need to scrub it, no need to put it in the dishwasher. Although you can put it in the dishwasher, it's dishwasher safe. But if you do have a problem, their warranty is a little bit unique, which is interesting, but I think it's really good for the consumer. They offer, basically it's a 3-year warranty, but they include 1 year on the base. So if anything happens in the first year, they'll go ahead and take care of it for you. They offer a 3-year warranty, so it's a 2-for-1, 3-year warranty on this pot and the lid. So 1 year on the base with the elements and heating elements, the electronics, 3 years on the top and on the pot. Now the element on here has a safety switch. You have to take this and put this in to heat the element. Great safety feature so that when you lift it up, the element immediately stops and turns off. I would suggest you take this, unplug it right away though, and put it out of the way so that nobody decides to put their hands on it right after you take this out, and keeps the food hot for quite a long time. Now the controls on this are very simple. There's a simple on-off button right down here. And remember, this right now is off because we don't have any weight on that switch. Do not press down on that switch, please. And then when you put this on, it will be then ready to actually start the different cooking modes. Now, slow cook, braise, sear, and keep warm are all on the left side of the control panel. Brown rice, white rice, pasta, and oats, you can actually adjust the temperature with a temperature switch that's here. There's also the timer switch that when you turn this on the various modes, it will have a timer set for you, but you can adjust that timer to different times as well. And to get you started, they give you a really nice recipe book. It actually is great recipes because I've made some of them, and you'll see a video of me making one of them, so I actually know that the recipe's good. Family loved it, by the way. The Mongolian pork was absolutely insane. And again, the link is going to be at the bottom of the description. The other thing that I like is that they give you a printed guide. Thank you very much. I am so sick of scanning QR codes now. Everybody's gone to this paperless, instruction guide. I get it, save the environment, cutting trees, but I'm old school. I like a book here to open up, take a look, follow through. Do you know what I'm talking about? Leave a comment down below. Do you like printed instructions, or do you prefer to never read anything printed and always look at your phone or your iPad or your computer? Let me know what you think. I'm curious. But at the end of the day, I think it's the clay that really makes the difference. And I just love the clay glaze. It's so buttery smooth. And I know that it's never going to actually peel on me or, come scraping off. And again, with that hardness scale of an 8.5, it's going to be pretty hard to get it off unless you probably really try about it. But with that being said, there's always people out there that tend to break things or test them to prove somebody wrong. So I'm sure somebody's going to go out there and try to do something to damage whatever it is that they get their hands on. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really good product and I have enjoyed using it. And it's now going to become a staple in the kitchen. Take a look at these other videos here. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you leave those comments below if you think that we should do a printed book or stick with the QR codes. And I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one. Smoke on, baby!